Welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. Today we're going to do something fun and practical, walking through a morning routine completely in English.
That's right. Many learners want to start their day with English, and one of the best ways is to describe your morning actions out loud in English as you do them.
Exactly. So imagine waking up and using simple English sentences to guide yourself. For example, I wake up. I open my eyes. I get out of bed. These short sentences help you think in English right from the start.
And then you can continue. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. These everyday actions are perfect practice because you already know what you're doing. You just need to put the English words to it.
Yes. And you don't have to make them complicated. Simple is fine. For example, I drink water. I make coffee. I eat breakfast. If you add this habit daily, your English will become more natural without extra stress.
You can even try connecting the sentences into a little flow, like, I wake up, then I stretch. After that, I brush my teeth, and I get dressed. This helps you practice linking words like, then, after that, and.
Another good idea is to practice with questions and answers. For example, you can ask yourself, what am I doing now, and then answer, I am brushing my teeth. This helps you practice the present continuous tense.
And don't forget, you can also practice speaking your plans for the day. Say things like, today, I will go to work, or, I'm going to study English after breakfast. That way you mix routine actions with future tense practice.
And if you want to make it even more effective, you can add little details. Instead of just saying, I drink coffee, you can say, I drink hot coffee from a blue cup, or I drink black coffee with no sugar. Adding description builds your vocabulary naturally.
That's a great point. You can also describe how you feel in the morning. For example, I feel sleepy, I feel fresh, or I feel excited for the day. This way, you're not only talking about actions, but also emotions, which makes your English more expressive.
Yes, and if you like journaling, you can write 1 or 2 sentences every morning. For example, this morning is sunny. I feel happy. It doesn't have to be long, but it creates a daily habit of using English to describe your real life.
Another powerful exercise is shadowing. When you're brushing your teeth or making breakfast, you can repeat phrases you've heard in podcasts or shows. It's like having a mini speaking class while you go through your routine.
And if you want to make it fun, you can even pretend you're explaining your routine to someone else, like a friend. For example, now I'm making breakfast. First, I put bread in the toaster. Then, I spread butter. It feels like teaching, but really, you're practicing speaking.
Exactly. And remember, the morning is a special time because your mind is fresh. If you start with English, it sets a positive tone for the whole day. Even 5 minutes can make a big difference.
Also, don't forget listening can be part of your morning routine too. For example, while you're getting dressed or preparing breakfast, you can listen to an English podcast, an audiobook, or even music with English lyrics. This way, your ears get used to the sounds of English naturally.
Yes, and you can combine it with speaking. Let's say you listen to a sentence like, today is a beautiful day. You can repeat it out loud. Or even change it to fit your situation, like, today is a rainy day. That's active practice, not just passive listening.
Another simple activity is to set a morning phrase of the day. For example, you can choose one phrase like, let's get started, or time to wake up, and use it throughout your day. It keeps the language fresh in your memory.
That's a really smart technique. And you know, if someone writes down 3 new words every morning, they will have learned over 1,000 words in a year. Just imagine that, small, consistent practice brings huge results.
And don't worry if sometimes you forget or feel lazy. The key is to come back the next day and keep going. A routine is not about being perfect, it's about building a rhythm that makes English part of your daily life.
Exactly, and the nice thing about a morning routine is that it sets the tone for your whole day. If you start your morning with even 5 minutes of English, your brain stays in that English mode, and it becomes easier to think in English later when you're reading, listening, or talking.
Right, and it doesn't have to be complicated. For example, when you drink your morning coffee or tea, you can describe what you see. The coffee is hot, the cup is white, the morning is quiet. These are simple sentences, but they help you connect English to real life.
You can also make it more fun by talking to yourself in English while you look in the mirror. Just say things like, "I feel good today," or "I'm ready for work." It's motivating and it also builds confidence because you practice speaking out loud.
That's a good one. And another idea is to keep an English journal by your bed. Before you start your day, write 1 or 2 sentences about how you feel or what you plan to do. Over time, you'll see your writing improve and you'll have a record of your progress.
And if you like listening, you can turn your morning routine into a mini English class just by playing a short podcast or a YouTube video in English while you get dressed or make breakfast, because even if you don't catch every single word, your ears are still getting used to the rhythm, the sounds, and the natural flow of English.
Yes, and it's such an easy way to add English without feeling like you're forcing yourself to study, because you're already brushing your teeth, preparing your bag, or cooking your meal. So why not let English be the background sound that slowly becomes familiar and comfortable?
And if you're someone who enjoys planning your day, you can do that planning in English, like thinking through your schedule and saying, "At 9 I will go to work, at 12 I will have lunch, in the evening I will exercise," because this kind of practical speaking makes English part of your daily mindset, not just something you study from a book.
Exactly, and the more natural you make it, the easier it becomes to stick with it every single day, because you're not adding extra time, you're just changing the language you use in those small, everyday actions.
Another fun thing you can do is describe what you see around you as you get ready in the morning. For example, say, "The sky looks bright today," or "I am wearing a blue shirt," or "My coffee smells good," because describing simple things out loud is one of the fastest ways to make English part of your thinking process.
That's a really good habit, because it trains your brain to notice details and immediately put them into English words, and the more often you do it, the quicker your mind will connect everyday life with English sentences without needing to translate.
And if speaking out loud feels a little strange, you can even whisper to yourself or just think the sentences in your head while you're moving through your morning, because the key is repetition and making it feel natural, not forced.
Yes, and over time, these little steps build into something powerful, because you'll realize that English has become part of your morning rhythm, almost like brushing your teeth. It's just something you do automatically.
You can also add English into your breakfast time. For example, read the labels on food packages and say them out loud like, "This bread is fresh," or "The milk is cold," because even short sentences make your vocabulary stronger.
And if you like listening, you can play a short podcast or a news update in English while you eat. Just a few minutes. So your ears get used to different voices and accents without feeling like it's heavy studying.
Another useful trick is to make a little to-do list for your day in English, something simple like, "Go to work, finish my homework, call my friend," because writing those small plans in English helps you practice thinking ahead in the language.
That's right, and when you review that list later in the day, you'll notice how natural it feels to check things off in English, which gives you both language practice and a little motivation boost.
You can also try describing the weather every morning. Just open the window and say something like, "It's sunny today," or "The sky is cloudy," because this habit builds quick, natural sentences that you can repeat daily.
Yes, and if you want to push it a little more, you can add feelings, like "It's raining and I feel cozy," or "It's hot and I feel tired." So you practice mixing weather vocabulary with emotions, which makes your English more personal.
Another simple idea is to stand in front of the mirror and say one positive sentence in English to yourself, like, "I am ready for today," or "I will do my best," and that way you're training your confidence at the same time as your language.
I love that because it's like combining self-care with English practice, and when you say those words every day, they don't just improve your language, They also give you a small boost of energy before you start your morning.
And for people who like music in the morning, you can play one English song while getting ready. Maybe sing along with just one line or the chorus. You don't need to understand everything, just repeat what you hear and enjoy the rhythm.
That's a fun way to connect with English naturally. And if you keep choosing the same song for a few days, those words will stick in your memory without much effort, like learning while smiling.
You could even turn your breakfast time into practice. For example, when you make coffee or tea, describe what you're doing in English. I'm pouring water, I'm stirring the cup, and it becomes like a mini lesson built into your daily routine.
Exactly, and the key is to keep it light and simple. You don't have to force yourself with big sentences in the morning, just short natural expressions that you can actually say while you move through your day.
And if you want to make it even more powerful, try adding a small morning question to yourself in English, like asking, "What will I do today?" or "How do I feel this morning?" and then answer in 1 or 2 sentences. It sets your mind to think in English right away.
Yes, and it doesn't matter if your sentences are very simple. Even saying something like, "I feel happy because the sun is shining," is already great practice. What matters is you're starting your day by expressing thoughts in English.
Another trick is to keep a notebook near your bed or breakfast table, so every morning you can write down just 3 English words or a short phrase you want to remember, and those little notes build up quickly over time.
That's such a good idea, because after a week you already have a collection of 20 or more words, and when you review them, you'll notice how much you've learned just from a few minutes each morning.
So the point is, your morning doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs a little English touch, maybe listening, maybe speaking, maybe writing, and over time, these small actions shape your fluency.
Exactly, and the best thing is, it becomes natural, like brushing your teeth or making your coffee. It turns into part of who you are, and that's when real progress happens.
We hope today's episode inspires you to add English into your mornings in a way that feels simple and enjoyable.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you again in the next episode of the British Accent Podcast.